Blog Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Paleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadet. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Susan Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and yourself feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jody Susan. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Well, good morning, everybody. Grand Rising. This is Jody Susan Calhoun. I was taught to say my new last name that way by a soul sister of mine. And we are here today to talk about how to get to know the real you. A lot of us are sitting here living our lives, and we are living our lives through the programming that we receive from someone else, usually our parents. And that's okay. It was good for them, perhaps, maybe not. But they, the question is, are you living your life? So time to get to know the real you. And we're going to talk about that with my new friend, Miles Rubin, and a little bit about Miles Rubin. He is the founder of Possibilities Unlimited. And I'm going to bring him on. He's I believe he's an NLP master practitioner, and he's going to correct me if I have that verbiage incorrect. And he also is a master of hypnosis. He is brilliant, And he says that's correct. And I'm going to bring him on without further ado. I invite you to do a couple of things. One, watch us on any of these platforms live, which is Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Blog Talk, or Podbean. Okay. And I'm going to change this banner real quick. You can, if you have a question and you want to call into the show, you can call it 515-605-9325, and then we'll bring you on so that you can ask Miles or myself questions and be part of this amazing show. So let me bring on Miles. Hello. How are you? Okay, you cannot, I am not hearing you right now. We lost your audio.
That's because I had it muted and totally forgot I had it muted. Hi.
That's hilarious. Because no one ever wants to mute you, man. You got too much good stuff to say. Let me
I
tell you.
appreciate that. I just am here to talk for those who are ready to listen. Awesome.
Yay. Yeah, that's right. You know, the student appears or the master appears when the students.
That's I get chills. That's isn't that such a yeah. It's very humbling too, because it's like, oh crap. The moment you're like, oh, I'm always learning is the moment you're like, oh, I get it. And then you're like, oh shit, there's more.
Well, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine, Philip. My husband and I were talking to our friend Philip Shannon the other day, and how spirit, like they give us these challenges to learn, right? And what he said to me was that a lot of people stay stuck in, and I know you know about this, but they stay stuck in this pattern. And it's actually somewhat conscious. Some of it's totally unconscious. Sure. But once they realize that spirit's going to keep giving them new challenges, they're like, I'll just stick with the challenge I got. Thank you.
Right. It's comfortable. We like our comfort.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So Miles, I'm going to ask you a few questions here. Nothing you don't know how to answer. So
if I don't know it, I'll just bullshit my way through it. It's all good.
That is so cool. So what, I know the story, but why is it that you chose to go the direction that you went into with NLP and hypnosis and all of that? I mean,
yeah, good question. So for those who don't know, NLP stands for neuro-linguistic programming. And there are a lot of different definitions we can give to NLP, but a very simple, basic one is the study of what works. So my experience and my past and the journey that I've been on, a lot of the work that I've done on myself and have had conversation with other people, a lot of people focus on what's wrong with them, right? My depression, my anxiety, my ADHD, my trauma, my X, my Y, my Z, what, fill in the blank, right? There's so many labels that we.
Oh yeah, we are the label society, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and we went that way because the doctors needed a flipping checkbox so they could get all the drugs approved.
Yes, and I think yes, and I think there's, we don't know what we don't know, right? And so we've been doing things so long and so repeatedly, we're so in the groove, we can't even begin to step outside and question it because it's just so comfortable, right? It's so routine.
Okay, I just got to pause you because you're so perfect. So the
I don't know about that.
Because you're speaking my language. So yeah, when we were at the coffee shop when we first met, I was just like, you were like, right?
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
I hope we can. This is just going to be like an interactive conversation because
Totally.
I've been telling people about our conversation, and I literally, I'm like, I'm going to be on a podcast, and like with who? I'm like, wait till you hear. I literally met someone at a networking event, and he comes up to me after and says, "You need to meet my wife." And I'm like, "Okay." And we started through it. We meet and get coffee. And the moment we sit down, this bird lands right next to us.
Right,
And
Carmen,
he starts
yeah.
talking to the bird. I'm like, "You're awesome." And everyone's like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Yeah, isn't that great?" Yeah. I just loved how you so quickly were like, "Yeah, I talk to animals." I'm like, "Yeah, you do."
Yeah. Well, and
That-
that particular animal, so my there's a woman by the name of Carmen Hipka. She passed right the day that I was offered this podcast. Okay. So what happened
Whoa.
was she passed, she talked to Naima, who's the executive producer, and said, could you just get on it and offer her the podcast now? And she's dead for an hour. Okay. It's like her
Whoa.
first thing to do. So
That's wild.
oh,
Okay.
yeah. So when she comes by, she usually comes in as a thrush, which is a type of bird.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
That's
she
cool.
inserts her body. It's not the same bird, right?
Right.
But she just inserts her energy into the bird of
Sure.
choice.
Sure. Right. Right. I love it because this is stuff that's in like movies that people automatically will just kind of go, no. Like, and it's like, no, this energy is a real thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they're downstairs talking. Do you hear them?
Oh my gosh. Are those birds?
Yeah, my two birds. They'll be on the
You've got to
show.
be shitting me. Are you serious? They're talking now I love it.
Those are well, I own those two girls. I don't actually own them. They own me, quite frankly. Let's be real about who manages who.
Right. Right. I love it.
I have two birds. They're always on the show. Fagla and Tinkerbell. They have more of a following than I do. And
You said Fagala?
Fagla. Yeah.
The
songbird.
the Yiddish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah. So Fagla, oh boy, here comes just letting the cat out of the bag with the bird.
I opened the can of worms. We'll get back to NLP in a minute.
In a second.
Let's do this.
So the Fagla, we realized that as I was becoming who I am, is my grandfather Zadie. Wow, I have never. They want to come
So
up.
my dog is sitting right here, and her ears just went.
Okay, can I see your dog?
Yeah. I'm just going to turn my.
Oh yeah, just bring her up here. Seriously, I mean, like, unless she's.
So this is Sadie.
Sadie, we had a Sadie. Hi, Sadie.
Say hi. Look at her ear.
Yeah, and do you have a great grandmother on your paternal or maternal? Paternal side that passed?
My dad, a great grandfather or a grandfather?
Grandmother on your paternal side. So it would be either your dad or your granddad or your great granddad on your father's side.
So my grandfather just passed away literally 2 months ago. My dad's dad.
Dad's dad.
Dad's dad passed away, and then his parents. They're both my dad's parents are Holocaust survivors.
Right, right. So is my Zadie.
Okay.
So this is your great granddad.
My grandfather's dad. Yeah, I actually don't know. I'd have to ask my dad. I don't think my dad even met his grandfather. I want to say he passed in the Holocaust. I think I'd have to gather more.
He did. So he did, and that is him. That's Sadie.
Okay, cool.
So, and because that's why I felt the energy. I'm like, it's paternal, and I got great grandfather, or was it great grandfather? Yes, or no. So your grandfather just passed, or your father passed?
My grandfather.
Right. Good. Because forgive me, that's not what I mean.
I know. I totally get it. Yeah, not good. Good. He's gone. No, I get it.
Is your great grandfather that's the soul of your great grandfather?
Got it. By the way, there's lawn maintenance going on outside, so if you hear some buzzing in the background, that's what
it's
that
all
is.
good. Yeah,
cool.
We get all sorts of things on this show.
Cool.
So let's go back to NLP.
Okay.
And what is NLP? And we'll come back because when Fagla is up here, I'll connect the dots for you, and we'll bring Sadie on because Sadie and Fagla and Tinkerbell all need to talk because I'm hearing they were all together in the Holocaust.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So NLP, back to that. It's really the simple definition is the study of what works, right? So lots of times psychology focuses on what's wrong with someone, whereas NLP is going to focus on what works. So as an example, someone comes to me and experiences a lot of anxiety. Lots of times someone with anxiety, someone when they go to someone for their anxiety, that the person they're going to is going to help them with their anxiety. And in my mind, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Their anxiety isn't working for them. So why would you help them with it?
Right.
Right. So lots of time now, there are a lot of psychologists and therapists out there that are talking about, well, I'm solution focused. Well, if you're solution focused, you're not going to talk about anxiety with your clients because anxiety is the problem. Anxiety is what's holding people back. Right. So from an NLP perspective, someone comes to me and says, I have anxiety. I go, wonderful. What's that getting in the way of for you?
Yeah. How is it blocking?
Yes.
What you from achieving and being the best version of you.
Right. And it's not to say anxiety is good or bad, right? We're going to take the judgment out of it. It's simply most people I interact with who experience anxiety, it's getting in the way of something for them. Most people don't even know what it is because we're not taught to focus on what we want. We're taught to dwell and focus on all of the shit going on in our lives and feedback off of that. And it just grows and grows and grows. So an NLP perspective, I'll ask people, well, if you weren't feeling anxiety, what would you want to feel instead? It's kind of like that. I like this example.
I love that question. If you weren't feeling anxiety, what would you
want to feel instead? It's a powerful question. You don't even have to be trained in NLP to ask yourself or ask other people that question. It's a very powerful question because in order to ask it, you have to stop feeling it to consider what you want instead. So it's a great way. If you're ever feeling anxious, go, ooh, awesome. Okay. If I wasn't feeling this way, what would I want to feel? And
when I ask a similar question with people that I'm working with, and I took NLP, as I mentioned to you, in college.
I think that's so cool that that's so awesome. Yeah.
But I'm going to take your course in October. So
yes. Yes. I actually just spoke with, we're in the trainer and I are working out, we're figuring out a place where we're going to do it. And so.
My house. No. Hey, I got a piece room down there. We can have
Can you fit 30 people in there?
I can. It's not
going to be tight. We got to have a little more space.
An open. The piece room is indoor, outdoor, and so it opens up 2 doors to a huge enclosed porch, and so you can actually easily fit 30 people. But it's not conducive to what you need. So
yeah. Maybe for another type of event, but for this it needs.
Oh yeah, and you and I are doing them.
It's he's very particular in how it needs to be set up, but no. So I was going to give an example. So I always like to say this: when you feel anxiety, what happens in the body?
Well, your cortisol levels go up, right?
Cortisol, sure. But I'm talking more about the physiological stuff. So
I can talk all day about that, but I'll let you tell them.
Right. So when you feel anxious, this is people probably agree with this. You get that in your stomach, your stomach flips, your palms get sweaty, your heart rate increases, your breathing intensifies, you start talking quicker, right? Now, put the anxiety aside for a moment. What happens in your body when you feel excited? Your stomach flips, your palms get a little sweaty, your heart rate increases, your breathing intensifies, you talk a little faster. It's exactly the same thing.
However, there's a difference between stress and eustress.
Sure, but from the perspective that I talk to my clients about it, what's the big difference? If everything's the same physiologically, the difference is the story we tell ourselves.
Right. And the joy around it, or
Right. Well, anxiety, I define anxiety as future-based fear. It's the fear of something playing out the way we don't want in the future and continuing to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, and then it becomes a pattern in our brain, right? And then that pattern becomes an imprint, and then you pass it on to generations. So the pattern that you have or the imprint you have may or may not be yours to begin with.
Just saying. Isn't that wild?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we accept imprints without even knowing it at young age, sometimes at birth, sometimes even before birth, if that's your belief structure. And there actually they're showing that now. And so
that it happens in prenatal, absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a book. Okay, so I didn't read it, but I put it under my bed because you can absorb it.
There you go. Yeah.
Did you know that?
Like, I have not. I'll have to. You know what? Hey, give me ideas because I'll do them.
So it's called The Issues Are in the Tissues. That's the book, which talks about cellular memory. And I didn't have time to read it, so I put it under my bed. And you absorb the books.
That's cool.
In night school.
So I usually, if ever I want to get things from a book and have them very ingrained, I'll read the book 5 times. Because 5 times there's the idea that if you listen to something, the moment you tell yourself something 5 times, you're communicating it to your unconscious mind. So
interesting. That's phenomenal. And so I do that. You know the book, The Secret?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was disabled,
I love that you said that, when I was disabled, because that puts it in the past.
Oh yeah,
it's like it's no longer you.
I've got like this arm in a cast. That's okay.
Great. I love that. That's great.
So I was committed to reclaiming my health, right? And intuitively, I knew it was my mindset. So I got, and anybody's listening, I want you to take note, and I also want you to do this if there's something you need to shift in terms of your mindset. You run a bath, preferably of filtered water, okay?
Make sure it's not sewage water. Got it. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your tap water is sewage water. So anyway.
You're talking. Got it. Okay.
Filtered. Yeah, no, it really is. Okay. Cool. So you run a bath and you buy the book, The Secret, and you buy the book in audio format.
Okay.
And you get into that bath, you put in some calming oils. I personally like lavender and frankincense. And you put in some Epsom salt or whatever, okay? And you get in there and you soak, like stay in there as long as you can, be able to turn the water on a little extra to keep it warm and everything. And you listen to that book. I don't care if you hear all the words. Do it, repeatedly do it. And it sinks into your subconscious mind. You can fall asleep in the bathtub and it gets into your subconscious mind. And it shifted my mindset in a way about abundance and my deserve level so much that I can't, sometimes I had to get other reminders from other people about what they were going through in order to recall what I went through, because it's so far from my reality.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you for fixing that.
I was like, how do I do a fancy little thing where I put my last name and what I do, and I figured it out. So
yeah, I knew you would. I sent you an energetic message.
Exactly. I love it. I got received. I got it.
You're the master. So anyways, if you listen to that book repeatedly, oh, Zeldin wants to know the left-hand deer.
Oh.
So
This is actually cool.
Well, you know what? I think, would you want to talk about mindset here relative to this in your ankle?
Sure, we can. Yeah, hey, I can talk about whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to talk about this unless we're going to bring it into mindset.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, let's bring it back to mindset. Sure.
All right. So I broke my wrist, Zelda. Actually I was attacked energetically, right? And ended up falling and broke my wrist and my arm. And I broke it in 4 places. And it's a gift. Let me just start with that. It's a huge, huge gift. I went in and I had an x-ray done. So there's absolute proof that this thing's busted, right? Now, before I even got in there, I used red light therapy. I used PEMF. I used Tesla technology. I used sound frequency and a shitload of turmeric and N-acetylcysteine. Okay.
I love that measurement. It's like you've got 5 grams, 10 grams, 20 grams, shitload.
Right? You go ahead and you measure that. Now, so when I saw the doctor, they said it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to heal. I said, watch me. It'll be healed in less than 10 days.
Challenge accepted.
Right? She goes, really? She goes, I go, watch me. And so actually, and I have a journal, and I just bought a bunch of journals on closeouts at this company that I buy from. And I didn't look at what it said on it, but it says, go ahead, underestimate me, see how that works.
Is this you said it was a shirt?
No, I should make it as a shirt.
I would wear that shirt.
I think I'm going to have to make it as a shirt. It's a journal.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
yeah,
even more.
But I'm going to make it as a shirt. Thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway, the mindset is, oh, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to heal. And I've got this conference that I'm doing, at the Holistic Lifestyle Conference on Wednesday. And I'm like, yeah, no. So I did all the healing, and the bone is 100% healed. Okay. I started doing physical therapy on it this morning. Okay. And I see the doctor Thursday, and he's going to do an x-ray, and he's going to go WTF because their mindset is 6 to 8 weeks to heal.
Right.
And then I would say it was 3 or 4 days ago. I think it was, maybe it wasn't even that. It was 3 days ago. I see this article from Epic Times, and it talks about how we use NSAIDs, which are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Some of those drug names can include things like ibuprofen, as an example. We're not dissing them. We're just saying what that is. So what it said was, when you take that type of drug, it extends the healing process 6 to 8 times. So you can heal your hand in a week, or you can do it in 6 to 8 weeks. Choose.
Yep.
Right?
Now, what's really cool is we can use NLP to reverse engineer everything you did that worked. Your belief structures, your values, your decisions, your attitude. And
so what do you mean? How do you reverse engineer what worked? What does that mean?
So I'll give you an example. So NLP really became known, or really was created in the 70s, created by these 2 gentlemen, Richard and John. And Richard and John Richard was he's a math major at University of California in Berkeley. And John Grinder was a professor of linguistics. And they both they got together and they wanted to help people who were struggling with a lot of stuff, and they realized there were a lot of psychologists, a lot of people going through change work, but spending years and years and years and not getting any better. And so Richard and John went, okay, something's off here. What's going on? And so they actually found 3 people. Dr. Milton Erickson, he was a world-renowned, best at the time, hypnotherapist. Virginia Satir, who was a very highly successful marriage and family therapist. You can write all these down. And then Fritz Perls, who was a highly successful Gestalt therapist. And what's
a Gestalt therapist?
So emotional stuff. So yeah, and talk about imprints. So and the thing about these 3 individuals was that all 3 of them were actually helping people, right? So you would go to see one of these people and the success rate was through the roof. So Richard and John went, okay, what are these 3 individuals doing that's different than everyone else, right? And what if we were to observe them and ask them questions and figure out, what is it you're doing? What is it you're doing different? So what they did was they modeled. They figured out what was each of these people's model in helping people make successful and long-lasting and powerful change. And they found that all 3 of them had commonalities in how they did what they did. And putting those commonalities together, that became the model of NLP. Is that,
what were those commonalities though?
Oh, so much. I mean, you'll learn that at the training.
Like the top 2.
Oh, I mean, one of them is focusing on what you want. That's a very common thing. Anyone that's ever succeeds at anything, they know what they want. Yeah. Right. And most people focus on what they don't want. If I get into a taxi cab and I tell the taxi cab driver, don't take me to McDonald's, he's going to look at me and go, well, wonderful. Where the hell do you want to go? Well, I know I sure as hell don't want McDonald's. I don't want a Big Mac. He's going to look at you like, okay, well, tell me where you want to go. And if I don't know what I want, how am I going to get where I want to go? So that's
right.
Number 1.
Like you have to know. Because also if you say, I don't want McDonald's, the universe doesn't hear not.
Yep.
I want McDonald's.
Yep. By the way, that's Hypnosis 101. Is the unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between, can't process negatives.
Right. Yeah.
Don't think about a pink elephant riding a unicycle. All right. I think about a blue one. Well, you had to reject a pink one in order to think about the blue one. Right. So that's one. Focus on what you want. Another one is state management. Emotional states.
Oh, emotional state management.
Emotional and mental state management. Yep. Yeah. If I know what I want, but I'm anxious about getting there and anxiety is preventing me from getting there, I need to determine what state would be resourceful for me in moving me toward what I want. Sometimes I work with clients where they have what's called a high away from pain motivator. They need to think about something that's going to cause them pain in order to move toward something. So sometimes people might need to feel a little bit of anxiety in order to initiate the movement process.
Yeah, and so we talk about that under like Dr. John D. Martini. There's different types of stress. So
okay.
I under Dr. John D. Martini for many, many years. And like I just didn't get it right the first time, right? No. But there's just so much to learn from him. And it's, there's different types of stress, and one will debilitate you and the other one will motivate you.
Yeah.
It depends on, is there joy involved or
right?
No, or not? Like, are you feeling punished?
Yes. Well, exactly. And it's like, that's why I say, these things that we automatically label as bad or good. It's not, it depends on the context,
Right.
right? Like the other day I was very anxious, but it was in a way that was, I don't even remember what it was. I was anxious to hear about something from someone, but I was like, it was anticipation. It was almost excitement. I said anxious in the moment. So I was like, oh, cool. All right. So there's contexts where it makes sense, right? Or it's
Right.
working for you. And the key with NLP, so kind of to bring it back to those one of those things, focus on what you want. Two,
Right.
managing your state, being able to recognize. I get accused all the time, Miles, you're just you're too positive all the time, which I think is hilarious.
Oh,
I think,
so I remember that like it was 2012, just before I I left the corporate work, like
right,
I went on disability at that time. I had a boss says no one can be that positive.
right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
And I
Yeah.
looked,
So
yeah,
I think, yeah. So first, I always think that how's being too positive a problem, first of all. Second of all, it's not that I'm too positive. I tell people like I go through shit all the time.
right.
And I just very quickly recognize, is this serving me? Or is it working for me? And is it moving me toward what I want? And if it's not, I go, wonderful. I'm going to stop doing this and focus on what I want. And I do that very quickly. And so lots of times when people don't really realize that I'm going through difficult stuff, because I handle it quick, because
Yeah,
it's
let's talk
I
about
don't
that.
have,
I became a
yeah,
master, although this thing here was kind of a little bit to handle because there was a lot of things thrown at me on
sure,
this one. But I mean, mostly I became a master at being self-aware about
right,
my emotions. And again, if the emotions weren't serving me, there's you can give it to God.
mhm,
You can see what's really going on and reframe it, right?
mhm.
And look at the silver lining, or you can continue to look at all the crap,
Right.
right? And
I'm a firm believer emotions are there for us to gather learnings and lessons.
right.
That's really it. And the moment you have the lesson, the emotion goes away.
Yeah, it does. And the
Oh,
pain associated with it.
yes, you can disconnect from it. Emotion, we've talked about this. It's energy. It's energy in motion. Energy isn't meant to be stuck.
No, because stuck energy is what?
Disease,
Yeah.
disease in the body. They're
Yeah.
showing this now. Lots of disease has its roots in unresolved negative emotion. This is more controversial, but we're not, this is just personal experience.
Oh,
It's
that
more and more I'm realizing it.
has kicked off, but
Yeah, we haven't had we're still on it. We're still kicking.
so I
But
want
yeah.
to just welcome everybody to the show.
Oh, how
So,
many people are watching?
right now we have on, I think it's on YouTube and Facebook. We only have about 3 right now. We have others on Blog Talk. We have others on Podbean.
Well,
We have LinkedIn that I can't see. We have, yeah. So this is Vieta. So these are all my soul sisters. They also have shows with the Female Solution.
oh, this
Vieta
is cool.
says, Grand Rising, awesome souls. Yes, being positive can translate to being optimistic. Seems like the higher way. Yeah, totally. Um,
And actually, you know what? And I think, can I speak on that real quick?
oh, yeah, please.
So I think it's important to recognize, because I'm going to talk about my mom. She won't mind. So my mom calls me the other day, and there's been a lot of death. So my grandfather, a few of her friends, their parents passed away. Both of my childhood dogs passed away within 2 weeks, all within just like a time, like interesting, wild. And I have my own. Say it again.
When did it start? Like May 6th?
Oh, no. Around there. Well, let's see. May 6th was what, 17 days ago?
Yeah. There was huge shifts right around that
There,
time.
yeah, I sense it too. It was wild. And so she called me and she's like, hey, I need to process something with you. Awesome, let's do it. And she wanted to work on how can I see the positive in all this? And I went, well, hold on, wait a minute. I love that. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Feel your emotions. It's
Right.
all relevant right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff going on right now. And if it's not a quote unquote positive emotion, let your body feel it. Let the energy come up and go through we're human, right? I always tell people, I'm not here to make people robots and not feel their emotions. The emotions that
That's been the problem all of our lives.
yes, well,
we're not allowed to feel your emotions. It got quashed down, right?
Yes, we push down the shit, and we want to feel the good
Which
stuff.
is a technical term in case anybody doesn't
Yes,
know.
exactly. It's in the dictionary, and yeah. So yeah, and so I'm all about I feel my emotions heavily, and I'm highly my emotions are very important to me, and so
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so being positive, yes, we got to be positive, but we also got to recognize in moments where shit's happening, it's okay to feel it. You should feel it and go through that process. Anyway,
yeah.
letting me rant there.
Well, no, I was just gonna say that feeling your feelings, or not feeling your feelings, is a program belief and programming that we got as kids.
Can be.
Yeah.
Or another one I've experienced is that people never learned how. They were taught to keep it down or to push them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, wait, and so if that's what you learned as a kid,
Right.
who's supposed to teach you that to feel your feelings? Because you've got this other direction that came from mom and dad. Especially boys aren't supposed to cry.
Big one.
Well, that's a bad deal.
Yep.
Right. And then you wonder why you have, when you're not allowed to feel your feelings, you have people having outbursts.
Right.
Because they don't know what to do. Right.
Well, if I can't outburst my tears, I've got to outburst in another way.
Uh-huh. Totally. So I just want to acknowledge, going back to acknowledging real quick, we have Naima, who is our executive producer. Thank you for being here. Zelda Speaks, Zelda Robinson, she's here. She is our Monday morning host, our stressologist.
I love that.
She's an amazing soul, man. I mean, to know Zelda is to love Zelda. Actually, all these women, right? And Vieta Robinson is a holistic life coach.
Ooh.
And then we have my friend Chris on here. Fetula, which means, I think it means light. Part of her name means light, like it's almost like wings of light or something, I think is what it is. But she's so cool. And then we have other people on the switchboard that I don't know. So, but we welcome you. We're happy to have you here and all of that. So, and we have not gone to commercial. So I'm going to quickly go to commercial because we were supposed to do that about 15 minutes ago. But, I kind of go as I go. Oops. So let me just see here. And Fayla's talking. She's like, I so want to meet Miles now. Sorry.
I do that I store it all the time. You're good.
It's a good thing.
Do it in like crowds of people. Everyone looks. I'm like, hey, you get what you get.
She says switchboard full. Yeah, the switchboard is full, honey.
Switchboard full.
Meaning our blog talk is got a full switchboard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we got people, then not everybody calls in, but if you want to call into the show after we go to commercial, please feel free to call in and ask your questions. The number to call is 515-605-9325. So here's a cool thing. You can just call that number and listen to the show, right? But if you actually just want to, if you want to ask a question, you can just press 1 and then we'll bring you on to ask your question. That cool? All right, so let me do this thingamajigger here. Okay.
Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
All right, we got one more.
Jody Susan of Susan Essentials was misdiagnosed and nearly died in 2013. Instead, she chose to reclaim her health using plant and energy-based healing. After losing 92 pounds, she now offers the psychologist and doctor-recommended functional food program, focusing on 2 things: toxic-free living and a connection to our brain health. Susan Essentials re-engineered what health looks like with the self-paced functional food program, now available to you with plans starting at just $99.
All right, we are back, and Miles may be, playing with the dog. Or were you playing with Sadie? Hi, Sadie. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. How are you, beautiful? Oh, bring her up here. I'm sorry, she's just such a amazing.
She's a sweetie. Hi.
So we had a Labrador by the name of Sadie. Lab. So, they just want up. They'll have to wait. So at 9:15 or 9:30, like on there, I have to make sure I go over there, go downstairs and get the girls and bring them up. They've got wings, but one will walk up the stairs, but she won't walk up the stairs without her partner. So
Oh, got it. Okay.
The partner won't walk up the stairs. So I have to go down there and get them. So, all right. So we talked about what NLP is, right? Which is really, it's focusing on what works, what's right, and stop trying to fix really what's broken. It's really about embracing what works. Talk to me about hypnosis. Like what is hypnosis?
So hypnosis, I'm going to keep it super simple again, is really just the art of giving a suggestion. And so, okay, Jody, if you were going through something, right? Say you're feeling anxious. Okay. You're going through a lot of anxiety. And I just tell you, Jody, just stop feeling anxious. Just don't do it. You're going to go, gee, thanks. Okay. Yeah. It's not going to work. Right. So I can use it.
Read between the lines.
Right. There's resistance, right? You're just like, I fucking know anxiety is not working. Don't tell me to not feel it. Right. That would be an ineffective suggestion for me to give you, because it's in fact making you more anxious and pissed off. Right. So with hypnosis, I can get beneath the resistance without you even realizing it, give you a suggestion to feel something instead of anxious, bring you out of the hypnosis, and then all of a sudden, without even knowing why or how, you're living your life being excited, having a difficult time accessing anxiety because of the way I gave you the suggestion.
Wait, so hold on.
Say it again.
Yeah.
In a different way. Okay. Yeah. So think about it like this. I'm gonna do some hypnosis right now for all of y'all. So imagine, in the movies when you've got the good guys versus the bad guys, and they're kind of strategizing, and they need to get beyond. They're about to do a battle, right? They're about to go head on against their enemy. Well, hypnosis is kind of like taking one or two or a small team of people and sneaking behind enemy lines and getting whatever they need to get and coming back. So that way it makes
pulling out of the subconscious mind. Sorry.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. There you go. Yep.
I'm like, wait a minute. Okay.
So now, lots of times, and I
know what the subconscious mind is, right? A lot of people.
Yeah, and we can talk about that real quick. So subconscious, unconscious, I use them interchangeably. I like to use the word unconscious because subconscious presupposes it's somehow beneath or less than. So I like to use unconscious because that presupposes it's not conscious, things we're not aware of. So I use unconscious, but yeah, subconscious, unconscious, same thing. But I think it's important to preface this. So lots of times with hypnosis, people get a little freaked out because they're like, you're going to control my mind. You're going to get in there. And
unlocking the file cabinet.
Right. And so it's very important. And I'm big on this whenever I'm doing hypnosis with my clients. I'm big on what does my client want? And it has nothing to do with me and what I want. Because I'm big on being clean with my work because there are a lot of creeps out there that are unfortunately trained in hypnosis, and hypnosis is it works. It's very effective. It's being used in politics. It's being used in Hollywood. It's being used in our media. People of power know how to hypnotize people.
Yes, they do. Called programming. Oh, TV programming. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, thank you.
Right. Programming. It's called come back to your regular television program. My regular television programming? All right. I see what you're saying. But yeah, so I'm big on being very clean with my work because I'm not here to judge or tell people what's right. So long as you're not going to hurt other people. I will help anyone accomplish anything they want. I'll hypnotize someone to do whatever they want to do, so long as it's not infringing on other people's rights or harming other people.
Well, and I want to approach that because, first of all, my uncle did a lot of hypnosis, and he was really cool. And then my husband and I met this woman, and she came into our home and did hypnosis, past life regression, right? And she was a little unscrupulous, right? So she put me under, and we did the things that we wanted to do. And then she decided to go fishing because she knew I could also access a higher consciousness. So she wanted to know about certain generals in the army, and she wanted to know about.
She was telling you this while she had you in hypnosis, and yeah, no.
Uh-huh.
No. I'll tell you why in a minute, but keep going.
Well, and then she brought in Jesus, and she wanted to have like an argument with Jesus. And then because Jesus actually, he came in because he had a specific message for me about I was here to help his children. And then she started like attacking him. And then I remember being under going, Jesus has left the building. And I was told by Jesus to not talk anymore. And so I didn't.
Yeah. So past life regression, that's a fun one. So lots of times people will do past life regressions, and the practitioner will give suggestions during the past life regression, right? Mm-hmm. So someone's saying, if your practitioner is working with you and saying, well, Jesus is here, that's inappropriate, because now that person is giving, this is hypnosis, by the way, giving the suggestion that Jesus is there without realizing that Jesus has a different structure of thought for me, from you, from everyone, right? So as a as in past life regressions, it's very important to make sure that the practitioner is not giving those suggestions. They need to go.
Yeah, she did not give the suggestion of Jesus came in to give me a message while I was on.
Did she say Jesus was there, or did you present
So
that?
I knew Jesus was there.
Okay, that's
now,
different.
but once she realized he was there, she started asking questions that were inappropriate.
Okay, got it. There
And
you
then
go.
she
Okay.
did make the suggestion of certain generals or whatever, because I'm not very
Yes. Okay, I understand. Okay.
That's what she did. She asked she wanted me to access. Spirit's telling me not to share this.
Don't share it then.
Yeah, we need to stop.
Yep. Perfect. Let's move on.
All right. Wow. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Anyway, she asked inappropriate questions.
Right. We'll leave it at that. That's enough. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that actually ties right back into, I'm big on being clean with my work with hypnosis. So because hypnosis is direct communication with someone's unconscious mind, it's intimate, right? It's and so I'm big on knowing, okay, what does my client want, and how do I need to give them this suggestion so they're most likely to access what they need to access so they can go out and be successful.
So why would someone want to access their unconscious mind?
Oh, that's where everything is. All our decisions are made unconsciously. All our beliefs are held at the unconscious level. All our intuition, everything is unconscious. And so lots of times it's those unconscious things that are getting in the way of what I want. Right. So if
unlock that cabinet,
open
the door, to allow it to come into consciousness, that you can make what I consider to be an informed choice.
Yes. Yeah. You bring the unconscious conscious, go, oh, this isn't working. Let me take this thing that would work, pull this out, put this in, and then put it back unconscious. And then you leave it there, you come back out, and it's like the movie Inception. Have you ever seen the movie Inception?
I have not.
Oh, the great movie. The whole movie's hypnosis.
Really?
Yes. Oh, the whole movie's hypnosis. If anyone's ever seen Inception, that's hypnosis in a movie. It's essentially, the movie is about this team of guys get together and they want to implant an idea in someone else's mind and make that person believe that it was their own idea.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a trippy movie too. Yeah, watch it. But for you, Jody, if you decide to watch it,
I am writing it down on a.
Do whatever you do for your I don't know if you watch a movie, if you do like a protection affirmation.
Yeah, actually, what I do is I put a template over the TV set. So nothing can come through and cause me harm.
There you go. Do that. I would recommend reinforcing it with this movie when you watch this movie, just because it's the whole movie's hypnotic. So if you watch it and you're not protected, you're like, what the heck is it's all, but it's good. If you watch it and that movie is about how can we give someone a suggestion and make them believe that it was their own idea. That's when hypnosis can be the most powerful, is when I give someone a suggestion without them even realizing it, and then making them think, or the way I give it to them allows them to think that it was their own idea. Yeah. Because now they've got an attachment to it. And if it's a positive suggestion and it's moving them toward what they want, I want them to think that it was their idea. Because at the end of the day, it is, right? All I can do is give a suggestion. If they grab onto it and take ownership of it.
Well, if it resonates with them.
Yes. Right. Right.
Naima says, I'm a big fan of the work of Dolores Cannon, whose method takes people to the deepest level of trance and all-knowing presence. She says, is it possible to go so deep into the subconscious that it's impossible to plant a suggestion? Great question.
That's a fun question. I'm going to always say anytime a question starts with the 3 words, is it possible? I always say yes. I think I'm of the belief anything's possible. The question is, I always ask is, what would be the intention?
Right.
So if anything's possible to go so deep into the subconscious that it's impossible to plant a suggestion, what would be the intention of that?
Wait, say that again.
What,
I got overwhelmed. So,
right.
So, say
If,
it again.
so yes. So the answer is yes, it is possible. But what would be the intent to go so deep into the subconscious that it's impossible to plant a suggestion? Wouldn't that also now I would question that.
Well, I would think I mean, you have to.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that also mean it's impossible to go so deep into the subconscious that it's possible to plant a suggestion? Like,
yeah, that's what's blowing my mind is the word impossible.
Right.
So everything's possible.
Right.
First of all. Number 2, when you're in the subconscious mind, that's a great place to plant that suggestion. And I think that's where my brain got twisted. I'm like, that's where you plant it.
Yeah. I think all suggestions can be planted. The question is, are we planting them in the right place? Right? If I take
in the mind, you mean? Planting in the right place of the mind? Or
yeah, well, think about it. If I have a seed and I want to plant something, and there's a very specific environment on our planet where that specific seed is going to grow and manifest into whatever it manifests, and it's
like peppermint,
is supportive of it, right? But if I go to somewhere like Alaska where it's cold and snowing and harsh weather, doesn't matter if I plant the seed there, it's not going to grow.
Right. And so we know that certain plants like peppermint, I think it's peppermint, don't quote me on it, grows best in Washington, the state of Washington, peaches in Georgia, right?
Right.
But
that is a really good question. I want to point that this is a great question.
It is a great question.
The idea is, instead of thinking about it from an aspect of, is it impossible to plant a suggestion? My mind goes to, well, A, what would the suggestion be, right? That depends on the person. And B, where would we need to go in someone's mind to plant that suggestion?
Well, that's what I want to know. Like, do you go into the hippocampus? The limbic?
Oh, I don't go into that. I do everything based off of I base everything off of what they give me through their language.
So when you pose the question, where do you plant it?
Oh, you're talking about like the actual physical location in their mind and their brain? Oh, I don't know.
Well, and I'm almost done with my certification through Amen Clinics, and I'm like, well,
see,
that would be cool. Emotional center. That we could.
Hey, I'm always down to figure that out. I do everything based on I pay attention to how my client is responding to everything. If they're giving me yeses, I'll ask questions, and I say, hey, if we give you this suggestion, would this work for you? And they go, yes. Wonderful. That won't work. Well, what do you mean? Well, you consciously told me yes, but you unconsciously told me no. So there's incongruence.
Right.
So
you have to read
all of my feedback on my clients. If we did this and we did this and you went like this and this worked, would that work? And they go, yes. Wonderful. That's what we're going to do. Now, where that goes in their brand, I don't know. I don't care. For me personally, because I want to focus on, does it work or not the theory. I'm big on application.
Yeah.
Now, there are people out there that love the theory and they love to know where all that. That's awesome. For me and my work, I don't really focus on that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. My mind's going in a bunch of different directions because it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm like,
but yeah.
Naima says the intention would be to help the person discover knowledge that already exists inside of them. So then you're not actually planting it. You're just opening
Now,
the door.
well, right, opening up. But see, what's
So
really
I'm actually going to let you take this for a minute and
yeah.
discuss this, and I'm going to go downstairs and get the girls, and then
Oh, I'm excited.
we're going to go to a quick commercial, okay?
Okay, cool.
And then we'll just pick up wherever we're at.
Cool. I can touch on this when we get
Yeah.
back.
All right, you talk about what.
Oh, you want me to do it while you're getting the girls? Got it.
Yeah. So if you share about, I mean, because if you're trying to get the person to discover the knowledge that already exists, you're not planting something in, you're opening the door, right?
Right. Well, and it also we would need to ask the question, what knowledge do they think they don't have that they would like to have?
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
take it away. I'll be right back.
Oh, you just want me to talk? Yeah. So the intention would be to help the person discover knowledge that already exists inside of them. Right. So, just drop this.
I'll be back in less than a minute.
All right, I'm counting. I've got it on my timer. So yeah, so yes, we can yes, through hypnosis we can do that, but we've got to get specific, right? So lots of times we want to know. I get a lot of people that want to discover the knowledge that already exists inside of them. The question is, what knowledge do they think they don't? Do you think you don't have? Right? Because then we can start giving it direction. Does that make sense? I don't know if I can see these messages coming in. But yes, we can totally use hypnosis to access forgotten information, if you will. Oh,
All right.
birds. What kind of birds are they?
So let me do the proper introduction. So we have Tinkerbell, and she is a sun conure. And would you step on my shoulder here? Thank you. And then we have Fagala, and she is a white-bellied kaik.
Wow. Hi.
Bonded. They are a bonded pair. And Fagala was my grandfather's Zadie and part of the Holocaust.
Mm.
And Clear, also part of the Holocaust, was his second wife. And when I was a child, he took his life when I was 7. And then Clear died, I want to say 27 years later.
Wow.
And then they came back to me in 2016 is when I got the two of them. And yeah, so they were born 6 years apart, but they adopted me. Yeah. And
That's
so
awesome.
they know Sadie. I'm just gonna
yeah. Well, Sadie said, yeah.
Yeah.
Look back.
Want to say hi to Sadie?
Sadie, come here. Come here, Mama.
Sadie, do you want to say hi to Fagala?
Nope, she just laid down.
She
just went.
She's
Wow.
overwhelmed. She says she's overwhelmed. So, okay, put it down. And now, what is this? She says, Naima says, sometimes people use hypnosis to discover how a past life trauma may be affecting them in their present life.
Right. And yes, so now this is actually cool. So, yes. However, I am not a licensed therapist, so I don't work on people's traumas. Mm-hmm. So if my clients have had trauma in whether it was in their current life, past life, genealogically, my approach is to not focus on the trauma, but we can do different techniques and processes to help them reframe the way they think about it. So moving forward, it's like it never happened. Or it's like they're
right. So similar here, right? So I don't also not licensed, right?
Right.
As a therapist. And I don't put people under.
Right.
What I do is I access consciousness to find out, hey, was there a trauma? Sometimes I get the story around it. Sometimes I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the person. Is it for their highest good to know? Sometimes they don't need to know. Right.
I'm of the belief the story of what is not working for someone, we don't need to know it, because the more you tell it, the more you reinforce it.
Exactly. That's why I don't like to complain about shit.
Right. It doesn't do us any good.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I have to vent and I have, but
Sure.
by that time I'm
if you're with a significant other or your spouse and they're complaining, listen to them, validate, empathize. But in the context of coaching and work, this type of work, I don't want to know. Legally, I can't listen to someone's story. I'm not licensed to listen to it. We were talking about this last time.
Yeah. And that's important.
It's important. I'm not a therapist. I am not licensed to listen to your problems. I am here to help you access resourceful states that will move you toward what you want. In order to do that, we've got to abandon the old mindset that doesn't work and take on the new mindset that will get you what you want.
Yeah. And I think that what I do, so we do things a little bit differently, right? And like that same client, right? I would clear cellular memories, imprints, traumas. I don't even need to know what it is. Going back however number of generations that spirit tells me to go back, I clear all that. And then if there's something that you need to reframe, which I help people reframe,
Sure.
if it's present time. But really, I mean, the rest of the work can be done by you, because I'm kind of quick and easy. I'm like, boom, get it out. And
Yeah. I love it. That's great. Yeah, it works. And if it works, wonderful.
Oh, it's amazing how well it works.
Yeah.
People who are very in tuned, you can actually feel your electrical body start to move because it's pulling out of your body. Can't make that up.
That's cool.
So, Chris,
question. There's a fabulous theory that all the universe's information is stored in our blood. Through hypnosis, it would then be possible to access it, specific information. So again, I'm of belief everything's possible. And so anything is possible. The question always goes back to, what information would you want to access?
Well, yeah, and so that information. So she loves my bubble. Here,
what is this? What's going on?
Called the bubble. So, okay, don't chew on money.
Oh, bubble.
Ow, let it go. Ow. Okay, I got one good hand. Okay. Don't damage it. Actually, I've got two good hands. One is just in recovery. So, she has something to say.
Sadie's listening.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, she says, Sadie, good to see you again.
Sadie's scratching your ear.
Mm-hmm. You see what Figla's doing? She's like talking in the end.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So what is it, Figla, that you want to share? Okay, I'm hearing you. So what she's saying is the world is shifting. And she said, we have in the past lived a life filled with trauma. She goes, I lived it. She goes, Sadie's lived it. Tinkerbell's lived it. We've all lived it. Trauma based. And she's saying the opportunity now in this lifetime and going forward, and the shift of the energy in the universe, is that we cannot live trauma based, but joy based.
There you go.
And she says, and when you shift your thinking to live joy based, she's saying something about manifestation. Manifestation occurs. She says, so be very intentional about what you're asking for. Know that the path, it's not a direct path. So if you're asking for peace and joy, she said, you need to understand the universe is going to have you release things that don't resonate with peace and joy. So it's not like you ask for peace and joy and you just get peace and joy. She
Right.
said you get asked for peace and joy and you get to release all the shit that's stopping you from having peace and joy.
There you go.
Just
Yeah.
ask Mama, that happened to her.
Right. Well, it's kind of like I like this one. When you ask for courage, you're not going to get courage. The universe is going to present you with information, present you with opportunities to be courageous.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so to ask for something, it's not that you're going to get it. It's that you're going to find yourself in situations where you have to choose to access it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you're not aware of these things yet, the things that are stopping you,
Mm-hmm.
You will, like, undeniably meet people that will show up for you that demonstrate the behavior that you need to release.
Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The point of annoyance.
Yeah. Well, because it's your unconscious mind is going, this is annoying, change it. It's a perception. Do we talk about perception as projection?
Fagala, where are you? Is she pulling on the cords? She is. Where are you, Fagala? Fagala, you can't pull on those cords, honey. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious me.
I love it.
You are so silly. And all right. Never a dull moment here. I'm just gonna tell you.
I love it.
Oh my goodness. So getting back to Chris's statement, because it's really cool, right? Is first of all, is all the universe's information is stored in our blood? So the answer is yes. It's also, the thing is, though, that our DNA, not everybody has all their DNA plugged in. Are you really doing this again?
Well, and I think,
come on. So DNA is not all plugged in. So I plug people's DNA back in, right? And so you can't always plug all the DNA back in at one time.
And that theory might work for someone, but it might not be absolutely unresonating for someone else. Right. And so that's why with theory, I think theory is just such an interesting thing, because if it resonates with you, all right, believe it, right? It just becomes a belief. And so if that theory, buying into that theory works for you in your journey, use it. And through hypnosis, yes, it would absolutely be possible to access information in that way. And my question always is, what information would you like? What would you like to know? Yeah,
Chris, what do you want to know? Girly girl.
She's like, everything. All of it. Give me it all.
Yeah, that is Chris. She does want to know everything. So I'm going to run to commercial real quick.
Okay.
You need to get, something to drink, run to the men's room. People, come back. Don't go nowhere. We love that you're here. So very grateful to have you. And we're just going to run a couple quick commercials so we can all breathe and then get the birds off the wires. Okay. Here we go. It's just so funny. Oh my gosh, where to start, of course. So let's see here.
Jody Susan of Susan Essentials was misdiagnosed and nearly died in 2013. Instead, she chose to reclaim her health using plant and energy-based healing. After losing 92 pounds, she now offers a psychologist and doctor-recommended functional food program focusing on two things: toxic-free living and the connection to our brain health. Susan Essentials re-engineered what health looks like with a self-paced functional food program now available to you with plans starting at just $99.
All right. So I have another commercial I'm going to try to run on Blog Talk, which is a little differently. So let's see if I'm not really good at the Blog Talk end. So we have applause. Don't need to applause everybody. So, that's one of the reasons I don't really run the Blog Talk. Here's a promo for my sister here for Naima's show, which is tomorrow morning. We'll run that.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif. Join me in my co-host.
Can we hear that?
Every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution Radio Show, as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host. Or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution.
All right, so we're good on that. Zelda says from the Higher Learning Network TV show, she says, love this train of thought this morning. All aboard, full speed ahead. Yeah, Zelda and I both own the bod, and I'll show you what that is. She bought one from me. And doing this with one hand. So it's sound frequency in a box. So it's precision sound frequency. And how we can control our thoughts, and but oftentimes it's hard to do that if our brain is, let's say, in a high beta state. And so if we can get our brain into a theta state, creativity, rest, relaxation, imagination, we have the power to manifest whatever we want. And so the first night that I broke my wrist, I'm using sound frequency.
Right. That's cool. That, by the way, where you use the sound frequency, that's where I'll use hypnosis. It's just a different modality. That's really, wait, so tell me more. So do you listen to it to a specific frequency depending on the intention? Like what,
Yes.
like, how do you decide?
So there are different dials, right? And you can dial into the frequency for reversing PTSD. You can, or any trauma.
The bird.
I have a command center, so I have a computer here, a computer here, a computer here, right? And she's hopping from like I told you, she manages me, right? I mean,
she's like, I run the show.
She does run the show.
That's awesome. So it's
there's specific frequency, and so 2 and 2 is for PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, also for other types of trauma. And so for me, I put it on 2 and 2 at the beginning because clearly I'm traumatized, right? And so as long as my brain's in a trauma state, I'm not going to be healing, am I?
Right, or at least not efficiently.
Not efficiently. Well, and certainly slowly. And then what I did is I created as a intuitive. Now that one's noted by there's Andrew says great to join for a few minutes before my event starts. So actually, Andrew, will you tell people about Oak Street Health? Because I'm excited. They've got an event at their new location. It's concierge. I'll just tell them because he's probably got just 2 minutes. But
type a whole story, Andrew, real quick. Go.
Type it in fast because I can't type it in. Concierge medicine, right? And for the Medicare market. is basically what it amounts to at no additional cost, and preventive care. So it's really kind of cool.
Cool story about Andrew. So I met him at a networking event up here in Marietta, and that's how I found out about you, Jody. And I did my little pitch, and I talk about hypnosis. Andrew walks up to me after and goes, "You need to meet my wife." That's all he said. And then we talked for a little bit. But yeah, that was the first thing out of his mouth. I was like, yes, I do.
Well, and it's hilarious. And you guys need to go running. Like I
would love to. Yes.
Yeah, he's a huge runner. And honestly, I know that he's a little, what are you doing? So he's a little remorse about not being able to go running lately. Just, we've been in the middle of a move and, very cool, fun things. But I know it's his heart. He loves to. Loves to run.
I would love to. Anytime, any place, anywhere. I love running. So yeah. And I've been getting into more of it. So I usually would just run by myself. But now I'm running in different groups with different people. It's a different energy. It's really cool running with people.
Well, I would think, right?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. He says Oak Street Health started in Chicago and now have 178 locations.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, and they just got bought out by CVS. So
is Oak Street Health that's y'all's, or it's Andrew's?
No. Oak Street Health is owned by, I think, 2 Harvard MBAs. I don't remember their names. And so when I was the chairperson for the American Diabetes Association, they were one of my customers at the expo.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so that's where I first was introduced to their customer-centered approach to serving the Medicare market and sharing with them preventative care so that they can stay out of the hospital and out of urgent care and really have greater vitality.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's a really cool value-based model. And I'm excited, that, I'm not a big Western medical fan, but, I needed them the other day. Right. Right.
I went for my ankle yesterday.
Just want to leverage the best parts.
Yes.
So this company does that. They leverage the best parts of the system to serve the a population that oftentimes can go unnoticed and underserved.
It's good work.
It's really good work.
That's awesome.
I'm standing behind it. It's good work because
that's cool. That's really awesome.
So back to the BOD. So the BOD allows you to do precision and that into like trauma. And there's tons of studies on it. It's FDA cleared. But as a medical intuitive, I channeled different settings, like, because it's a dial from 1 to 6 on each side. There's 2 dials for volume. So we'll just leave that and chunk it, put it in a parking lot. The other 2 dials, one tunes into a frequency, right? And the other one disrupts it.
Interesting.
In seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. So pattern interrupt.
Pattern interrupt. It's memory reconsolidation.
Yeah, that's cool. Through sound frequency. That's neat. That's cool.
Precision sound frequency.
Yeah, precision. Right. So because it's frequency. If it's off by a little bit,
Yeah. Cool. Because like if you think about the frequency of music is set for the whole world at 440, which causes disharmony in the prefrontal lobe, right? Did you not know that?
Say that again.
So music since World War II.
I knew 440. I play guitar, and so whenever you tune, it's the
440.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not much aware of like all the numbers and all that.
Okay.
Stuff. Yeah.
So when you're at 440, it causes disharmony in the prefrontal lobe.
Interesting.
Now go to 432
Okay.
in the prefrontal lobe.
So 8 by 8, a number of 8
Mhm.
is enough. Yeah. See, that's wild. So that's cool.
Now,
So 432. Interesting. That's
right?
cool.
Oh,
Okay.
I got one better for you.
Okay.
Now you tune it to 528.
Uh-huh.
That's a frequency of love.
Interesting. Now this is where I always, so love, right? When you, love is just, so I'm NLP, right? And neuro linguistic programming, language. Words on my middle, I always say words on my middle name. So love, if you have 12 people in a room and you ask them what love means to them, you're going to get 12 different stories. So when you say love, are you saying love, or like how?
It's a vibration of love. And let me be really specific.
Cool.
Bees vibrate at 528.
Mm.
They pollinate all of our food.
Neat. Bees vibrate at 5. So okay, that's cool. Keep going.
How's that for love, right? Because if you're
Neat.
making, right, they're co-creating with the universe to create our food supply, and they do it at the frequency of 528.
528. That's cool. See, this is cool stuff. We should have more people. We should be studying more of this. I mean, I'm sure we are, but this is neat. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna have fun together, Miles.
Oh yeah, I love learning new stuff, because it's like it's all relevant.
Well, and this other machine I bought, which I'm not allowed to use the name, so we'll say actually I am. I use it for research. And really I do, right? It's called a Rife. And we have someone calling in, but we'll see if we can take the call. But I use it for research. And the other day it's a frequency based impulsive electromagnetic frequencies combined with a sound to get rid of, let's say, all the scar tissue in my body.
Neat. That's cool.
Because if you have scar tissue in your body, your brain can't communicate to whoever that scar tissue is. It gets stopped.
There's a block. Neat.
It's just so much fun. So the Higher Learning Network TV show, Zelda Robinson says, is in 432 frequency of love. That's harmony versus 528 is love.
See, I think that's interesting, because the word harmony assumes there's another frequency, right? Because you think about a melody, and then you've got harmony. That's a frequency on top of the melody. So if 432 is the frequency of harmony, what is it harmonizing with? What frequency?
It's the heartbeat of the universe.
Say it again.
So the Schumann resonance, like the heartbeat of the universe.
And what's that frequency?
So the Schumann resonance is at 7.83. Typically it should be, but because of all the EMF that we have,
7.83 is
so it's a Schumann resonance.
How do you spell it?
SCHUMMAN, and then resonance. I'm getting a definition here.
And then 432 is supposed to be the harmony of the 7.83.
I'm making sure that I'm accurate in my description. So I have I'll just bring this on air to show. Hold on. So we present, share screen. Okay. So what it says here, let me just type increase in size. Can we see that fairly decently? Yeah.
I can.
So So 432 heightens perception, increases the mental clarity of a person, and unlocks intuition. So if you have a dog or an animal at the house and they're having agitation, you can play 432 or 528, right? Because
Cool.
it's really harmonizing. Generally, the frequency has been proven to be a healing frequency since it reduces anxiety and lowers the heart rate and blood pressure. Okay, so there's your science. And then I'm going to do the same thing just so that I can stay, fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Do that with 528.
I think the really cool thing too would be I'm gonna play these frequencies and see how my body responds to it. I'm curious. I want to this is cool.
Well, I got something for you.
Okay. I'm excited.
So hold on a second. Here
Love
is,
the book.
I'm going to show you this one first. And let me stop sharing and bring in the new screen. She's so funny. My girls bring me so much joy. Okay. 528 hertz. This frequency is often called the love frequency because it draws a certain kind of deep-rooted natural relationship with the surrounding nature. And this frequency is found in almost everything, ranging from human DNA to chlorophyll.
Have you ever seen? It was that video of they're doing an experiment on. I just saw the word chlorophyll, so I remembered there were plants, and they did an experiment of literal vibration with the plants. That one resonated with love. I don't remember what, and there was other frequencies that was full on dissonance, and put it in the same environment, same everything. The only difference that they did was the frequency. And the one with the frequency of love, or whatever the frequency that was to help promote, or they wanted to see if it would help promote, the plant grew like twice the size of the other one. It stuck to the other. I'm like, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. So what I'm going to tell you, so Masaru Emoto water experiment, similar thing.
Yeah.
What I do is I run these frequencies on my plants and they grow like crazy. We had, when we were in Illinois, in Grays Lake and in Barrington, we had these tower gardens, and I had more huge bell peppers than I knew what to do with. I mean, the thing was like, woof.
Wait, the bell pepper was that big?
Oh, well, the tower garden that held the bell peppers.
Oh,
so many of them. It was
wow,
crazy because we were running frequencies on the house all day long. So they're getting these high vibration frequencies on them as well all day. And everything was growing like it was nobody's business.
See, this would be cool implementing this with, because lots of the work I do is we get people to teach people how to focus on what they want with their focus, right? And so now combine the focusing on what you want, state management, all these, the NLP, all these steps, and now tune into the frequency as you're doing it. So you're promoting the growth of the mindset as well as the growth of everything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So
okay.
It's going to have a commercial.
Okay.
Let's see if I can unmute it. Yeah. So I'm waiting for this commercial to go by and I'll show it to you guys. So, which I think a lot of people don't know is that, okay, here we go. For free, available on YouTube, okay, is this music, this 528 music. Now, I need to make sure that you understand you are taking a risk, okay, because not all of some of these are adulterated, right? Intentionally.
Mm.
So if I just there's your 528. Usually they have some sort of image going by, but not really.
Is it better to listen with headphones?
So I don't think so. I use it. I listen to it. We play it in the house almost all the time.
This specific frequency, 528?
Oh yeah, it keeps the birds happy.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then this is the one that hold on, let me move that, stop the share. And then this is what you were referring to earlier with the, like, I know you're talking about plant, but they also did it with the water. Masaru Emoto water experiment.
This next series of photographs are the work of Japanese researcher Mr.
There it is.
Masaru Emoto from his book, The Message from Water. Mr. Emoto's work provides factual evidence that human vibrational energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affect the molecular structure of water. Please remember that water comprises over 70% of a mature human body and covers the same amount on our planet. Water is the very source of all life. This photo shows the beautifully formed geometric design of the Yushi Spring water. This next photo is from the Shimanto River, the last clean spring in Japan. Notice the extraordinary geometric forms. The fact that the molecular structure of water can be affected by our consciousness, our intent, and our sounds is extremely important. This photo is from the Mount Cook Glacier in New Zealand. Mr. Emoto has been visually documenting these molecular changes in water by means of his photographic techniques. He freezes droplets of water, then examines them under a dark field microscope that has photographic capabilities. His work clearly demonstrates the diversity of the molecular structure of water and the effects of the environment upon the structure of the water. This photo is from the fountain in Lourdes, France. This photo is from contaminated water from the Yodo River in Japan.
Okay, so I want to pause there. So I know we have people on Blog Talk and you can't necessarily see what you're looking at, but the original water pictures were really just beautiful, almost artistic in nature, this frozen water. And then the one that he's talking about where it's toxic water, it looks somewhat demonic, and certainly fractured, not balanced, not beautiful. There's no beauty in it. And so I think the message that we're here to send in this at this moment in time is that our vibration, if we're not aware of the energy that we bring to the room, that vibration is literally harmful to not only yourself, but to the people that you're around, because it changes the water, which means, and since our body is 70% water, it changes the person.
This is the idea of you know,
The plant.
be the change, right? So if
Right.
you're if you know, if you're experiencing something in your life that isn't the way you want,
Right.
just the act of thinking, changing your thought, changes the vibration, puts it out there, and will feed back to you so you can continue. Like, it's just changing your thought. And now you know, and if you have difficult time accessing those thoughts, just by turn on the frequency for a moment, listen to it for
Well, and that's what we do here, because here's the thing. Let's say you're just not having a good day with your partner. Is it really your partner that's bringing that energy? Is it the 5G that got ramped up? Is it the cell tower that you walked by? Is it the EMF that's in the grocery store?
Mm.
And so let's not go to blame and shame immediately to the person standing next to you. It could be, I mean, come on, this is not like they've got all these ways to send out vibrations, right? They do it through the TV set, the radio, they do it through your cell phone, your computers, 5G towers, the electrical lines. It's almost endless. I mean, so what I'm trying to teach people and what I'll be speaking about at the conference on Wednesday, which I would like to display that just so people know where I'm going to be, and you can watch it online, or if you're in Orlando, Florida, please come visit us. And let me just show that real quick where to go. But I'm speaking about shifting your mindset to reclaim your health, and you need to lose the stress. And so it's, yeah, is it that easy to lose the stress? Not when you don't have a path, it's not. Right? And so what I do is I share about what are those interferences that we don't even know about. Okay? So this is what I'll be doing. What are those interferences that we don't even know about, that are impacting our stress levels? And what's the easy button to eliminating them, right? Because if you can turn your Wi-Fi off at night, Fagler, what are you doing, Dolly? I wish y'all could see this because it's crazy. Anyways, so if you can turn off the Wi-Fi at night, unplug that, put your phone on airplane mode, buy a Faraday baseball cap so your brain is kept, protect your brain when you're out, in an area, which is almost everywhere now, unless you're in the forest. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I don't know what she's doing. Excuse me. I'm just going to take, I guess I'm not. Fagala, please stop it. Come on. Oh, she wants up here. All right. So it's taking the precautions and making to not be impacted by these electromagnetic frequencies. And that's really just one part, because the other part is, what do those frequencies connect with? Well, heavy metals. So if you're not making sure that your food and water supply and your cosmetics and your cleaning supplies and all that, whatever, are free of heavy metals, and your body's free of heavy metals, then you're just a magnet for all this stress. Does that kind of explain that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, I want to make sure that people know, and I pulled up your website before we started the show. I want to make sure that people know how to get in touch with you, because you are such an amazing, and I mean, to me anyways, I mean, an amazing mentor and teacher for people, right? You are an educator on a level that most people don't see. Gosh, you are just mashugana. Okay. Zelda wants to know what a Faraday baseball cap is. So a Faraday baseball cap is it literally, you can get them on Amazon, and they literally block EMF.
That's cool.
And so I wear a baseball cap when I go out. And then when I was really sick earlier in the year, and I'm trying to pull up your window here. Here we go. When I was sick earlier in the year, I wore a cape, a Faraday cape to keep my body. It's just a black cape, so it looks like you're wearing, a cool piece of clothing, but the fabric is made from Faraday, and you have the spelling correct. And ow, don't do that. Be nice. She wants to say something. Oh, she wants to focus on you. Okay, we're going to shift then. All right. Don't bite. Be kind. What would you like to say about Miles? Oh, got it. Okay, so we're going to close up all these other windows so I don't have so many distractions in here. So she wants me to spend the next few minutes talking about how people can receive your coaching. Stop fighting. Because you have a clear roadmap to how do you serve people? Let me just let you go there.
How do I serve people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at my website, it's all focused on, like, I coach a lot of different people. Like, I coach a lot of people in sales and helping them, not necessarily with sales tactics, but with their mindset. Because lots of time, and I'm very passionate about helping people. Miles has the, yeah. You take the S in front of smile and put it at the end, you get Miles. So I appreciate that.
I love it.
I'm passionate about a lot of things. One of them is helping people recognize that your income is a direct reflection of your mindset. And you don't have to be a slave in be an employee and work up that ladder to make a shit ton of money, but then also take on all the stress and have a very unhealthy lifestyle. You can give value and bring something to the table that no one else can, because everyone's unique. And it's just a matter of tapping into what you want to bring and developing that path, and recognizing that there's going to be ups and downs, and you got to learn from both. They're both beneficial. And so I'm very passionate about coaching. And so I want to help people do that. I also love help. Next year, I'm going to be getting certified as a trainer of NLP and hypnosis, because I want to be able to certify and teach people. Right now, I can't teach people NLP. I just use NLP in my coaching to help people get to where they want to go. That's coaching. Training people in NLP is teaching people about NLP and certifying them in it, which is that training in October, Jody. That's what my trainer is going to be doing, that one. But I want to, the thing is, with a lot of coaching, there's a lot of coaching that anyone can go out and call themselves a coach. You don't have to have even a certification. And so I meet a ton of coaches where I'm like, okay, what qualifies you as a coach? Well, and then I find out they did a weekend online course and they spent $40 to be able to print out their certificate because they got 80% of the multiple choice answered questions right on their little assessment. And now I am a certified life coach, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, yeah, you're not a coach. I want to get people that want to be coaches and want to actually go out and help people. I want to make sure that they have the quality training and knowledge and application of how to actually help people make long-lasting change. And that's getting people into NLP hypnosis certification trainings. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my, that's what I'm doing.
That's amazing. And for me, I know that, like, I want to do more educating.
Yes.
Like, when at the end of the day, it'll probably be 75% public speaking, educating, 25% coaching. Because that's my personal bandwidth.
And that's Yeah, I love it. And then NLP, when you become NLP trainer, an NLP trainer, that's all about group, managing a group.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another reason why I want to do my NLP trainers training, is because, yeah, I want to develop that skill and get in front of more people, and yeah, I love it. So, but yeah, educating, coaching, training, all that stuff.
Yeah. And so, so if somebody's looking to improve their, take their career to the next level,
Mhm.
they can reach out to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
There should be a link or a button somewhere on my website that'll bring them right to a click see if coaching is right for you.
yeah, so go to this link here, see if coaching is right for you.
Click on that and see where it goes.
Please stop.
I forget how my website coaching. Oh yeah. So you literally just type your name, your what is it you want to, and you literally just fill this out. The more detailed you fill this out, the better, because it helps me understand. And what that'll do is it'll send me an email, and we'll schedule, I do discovery sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll have hop on a 30-minute conversation where I get to know you, you get to know me. And I'm big on making sure we're the right fit.
Because there are people I don't take because I'm not the right person for them.
Right. And I have a lot of friends who have the same level of certification as me. Mm-hmm. And if we're not a right fit, I will go, hey, contact this person and reach out to them.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, I'm big on making sure, I want people to be successful. And so I want to make sure people are getting what they want. And so, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. There's literally my phone. Yeah. You can also, my phone number.
Typically I would type this in, but I'm kind of short on fingers today. So the number, you want to tell people your number and email?
Yes. So you can, this is actually, so you can call me or text me at 562-980-2271. If I don't answer, leave me a voicemail. I promise I'll get back. And then my email is Miles, MILES .RUBIN at gurucoaches.com. GURU coaches.com.
Okay.
You can also follow me on Instagram. I post every day on Instagram.
You do?
All the time. Yep. It's at official Miles Rubin, all one word.
Okay, I'm not that good on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Yeah, you can find me on Facebook too. But yeah, official Miles Rubin is all. That's all my socials. So if you have TikTok.
Oh yeah. So on this, where you see his contact information and his email, here's the Facebook, Twitter, Google, and Instagram.
Can you click on the Instagram? I'm curious if it. Oh, see, I need to change that because that's my old. That's my old Instagram username. So I need to go in the back end and get that changed.
Okay, let's test the other ones. No, there you go.
That's hilarious. Okay, cool. Good to know.
And let's see.
Let's see if this is
accurate.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. So, and there's our show.
Yep.
Mindset and Fear. So,
90 seconds.
So let me just close that up. So we're really grateful that everyone showed up today, that you had your great questions, and Miles, you're such a joy to have here, and so thank you for sharing your wisdom today.
Thank you for having me.
And and thank you to everybody on Blog Talk and Podbean who showed up. If you are listening to the replay, thank you too. So, and you can catch a replay on anywhere that you watch or listen to your podcast. So, did you eat enough of the stuff on my arm? Yeah, I thought so. All right. So we're going to end the broadcast, and we just want to say thank you, and we wish you an amazing week. And I hope you watch Naima's show tomorrow. Same time, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we will be right back. Hold on.